Tonight we're going to be counting Gvura Shebemalchut. We're concluding the week of the Sfirat Omer. We're concluding the entire Sfirat Omer with the week of Malchut. Yesterday we counted Chesed Shebemalchut. Yesterday was the 43rd day. And the whole week of Malchut, besides that it's concluding the entire Sfirat Omer, it's the conclusion of everything. It's very, very important that we conclude the right way, because if you don't, then the entire 6 weeks, they don't have a conclusion. So the way how I see it, when something starts and you don't finish the right way, it's almost like going ten. I mean, where's the 10? So you wait 6 weeks in Sfirat Omer and no conclusion, then that's not good. So everything that you start has to be concluded, and if you don't, then you leave something open in the universe. So this week, very important that you pay attention to the final week, how it needs to be done. Now, yesterday, when we were counting Chesed Shebemalchut, we were talking about the idea of that I have to be a giver, but a real giver. Not to give because I want my name on the wall, or because I need to get something from the other person. I have a motive, or that I want to be the hero. I have to really give because I want to give. And you had to ask yourself, and you still have to ask yourself the question, when you do something good to a person, are you giving it with your whole heart? Or are you giving it because there's some motive there? Because I need that person to help me, or I need a letter from this person, and I'll do something good and he'll help me. And how they say, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back, and so forth. Giving has to be real, that you're giving for the sake of giving. So that's what we learned about Chesed Shebemalchut, that giving, it has to be with all my heart. Now we're going to Gvura Shebemalchut. Gvura, there are many different ways to explain what Gvura means. But one way, based on the teachings of Kabbalah, to explain what Gvura is the power of focusing. What's called koach harikuz, that to be able to focus my concentration, or even my power. Most people, they don't know how to focus real good. They get distracted like that. They sit, start something, they move here, start this, move here, start that, go back to here, and again, chas v'shalom, I'm not saying this to hurt any person, I'm just making an observation. A lot of people, they don't know how to focus their energy. We spoke about that a couple times in Sfirat Omer, how to focus your energy. You started something, finish it, then move to the next thing. You started this one, finish it, move to the next thing. Unless it needs to be on a low flame, then go to do something else. Gvura will allow me to focus. And again, this is called koach harikuz, the power of concentration, of focusing. Now, in general, any task that I do, I need to be focused on that. The reason why a lot of people are not productive is, like I said, they start here, get distracted, they go here, they get distracted, and then what happens is 2-3 hours pass, and I started a lot of things, but I didn't conclude anything. People who know how to focus themselves, then they become productive, because this task should take me 10 minutes, and this task should take me 2 hours, and I know what I need to do. And you want to become productive. Your time is very valuable. We spoke about that a few weeks ago, how valuable my time is. And I don't want my time to run throughout my hands. Most people comes at 10 o'clock at night. Oh my God, where did the day go? Most people comes Thursday. It was just Sunday. Oh, where's the week? So I need to know how to focus myself. Why? Because I have a mission to do. And sometimes I have 100 missions to do today. I have to do A, B, and C. I like working with lists, because when I have a list, I know what I need to do. I already make the list the night before, the week before. Everything is organized. I know today what I'm doing from 10 to 11, from 11 to 12. Everything is organized. I need to focus on my mission. Now, who technically needs the highest level of focusing? If you want to now generalize in theory, of course also being practical, but who would you think would be the person that needs to have the highest level of focus? Then I would say the king. In our generation, we don't have a king, so we have a president, a prime minister. You would think, I'm talking about a real one, not the fake ones. You would think that the top of the top, he will need to have the highest level of concentration. Can you imagine how many tasks the king has? How many tasks the general has, the chief of staff, the prime minister? So we're in the week of Malchut, so we're talking about a king, not about a general. The king has to have the highest level of being focused. Here a minute, 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 and he needs to know how to direct the energy. Now, why a king? Because the king, a real king, needs to concentrate on the needs of everybody in the nation. Try to once follow, if it would be possible, the day of a president. And just imagine how it is. So many advisors around him. This meeting is 2 minutes. This meeting is 30 seconds. This meeting is a minute. The person comes, how about this and that? Yes, sign. That's it, next. How about this and this? No. Right? This is the way of how I think. Just imagine how a king is operating. Now, and again, we're all talking now in theory how I can relate with it later in my life. A king needs to focus on the needs of all the people in his nation. The army, the government, the poor people, the rich people, the business, the taxes, everything. So there are two general details that the king, the real king, needs to focus on. The needs of the nation of this world and also the needs of the world to come. Not only in this world, it's important in this world, but also the needs in the world to come. Now, I spoke many times that every time that we reach to the Sfirah of Malchut, last week was Malchut Sheba Yesod, before that Malchut of Netzach and so forth, every time I mentioned that we are a small king. Each and every one of us is a king of my own domain. So in my kingdom, then I have a wife, and I have kids, and I have workers, and I have students or whatever. I'm a king in my little domain. And I need to worry about everybody's needs. So forget about now friends, students, workers. Let's just concentrate in my little house. There's a wife, she has needs. There's kids, they have needs. There's a lot of them. That kid's needs is this, and this kid needs is that. He needs shoes today, he needs today help with his homework. This kid has a test. Everybody has needs. So me as the king of my own domain, I have to worry about the needs of everybody, preferably before my own needs. Each one needs to get their needs. Now, this is where I'm worrying about the needs in this world. But I also want to worry about their needs in the world to come. Don't say a lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't take. Come with me to shul to pray. I need to worry about their needs in the world to come. So this is when we're trying to create some type of imaginary system in my mind. We're looking at the king, the real king, then he has to focus on his nation. Now I'm the king. How am I focusing on the needs of the people around me, both in this world and in the world to come? Since we're in the week of Malchut, the whole idea behind Malchut is leadership. That I'm a leader, that I'm a king, that I'm taking charge, I'm taking control. Everybody has to be a leader at some point. Even though a lot of people says, listen, I don't want to do anything. You run the shots. You tell me what to do. I'll do. But at the end of the day, we spoke about it already, that we all have the power in us. This is called the power of Malchut, that I'm a leader too. Even if I'm leading two people, it doesn't matter. But I'm the leader. I'm the one who's calling the shots. And not only that it's built in us, we also have that desire. Most people, I will call it now in an extreme way, are lazy and they don't want to take charge. Some people, they can't do anything but taking charge. But nevertheless, inside of us, not only that I have the power to lead, I also have the desire to lead. And to lead the right way, of course. What does it mean to lead the right way? It means to do chesed and kindness. To do acts of charity, acts of kindness, and to do good to other people. That's a good leader. That I take charge and I help you, and I help you, and I help you, and so forth. Now, if there's only chesed, so yesterday we were counting chesed sheba malchut, unbelievable kindness. I just give and give and give and give. That's not good, because too much chesed, then it gets spread around. It doesn't stay contained. The Kabbalistic term to it is called hitpashtut haor, spreading of the light. So I don't want it to spread. I want it to stay in one place. Imagine now you go now to a wine store, and they tell you we have a very special wine, a very expensive wine. So you tell them, okay, I will want some. Listen, we have it in a barrel and we don't have bottles for it. So you need to bring something to take the wine with you. If you just tell them, give me the wine, and they open the faucet, all the wine just spills. Whoa, no, I don't want it to spread. I need it contained in a bottle or in a cup. So bring a cup, bring a bottle. So when something spreads too much, The Kabbalistic term to it is called hitpashtut ha'or, that the light just gets spread. This is when it's too much chesed, that's not good. It doesn't, it's not focused. And then it's all over the place. So too much chesed is not good. What do I need? I need to apply gvura. The gvura will be focusing, where is that chesed going to? Imagine now a rich person has millions of dollars, he hires a gabbai to tell the gabbai, every person that wants help, he comes to you, he tells you the situation, we give a check. Now imagine the gabbai will give to everybody $1 million, $1 million, $1 million. Whoa, the money will run out. He just needs 1,000, he doesn't need 1,000,000. And he needs 2,000 and he needs 500. You give every person according to what they need. I don't have to just give because we have. So I need to know how to go down to details. And the details are where, how, what, who. This is the gvura sheba malchut that I want to give. But it has to be focused. It has to be, where am I giving the energy? I give right now, if I'm, again, to give you an example from a private life, not from a king's life, then if I have kids, this kid needs 10 minutes right now. This kid needs an hour. This kid has a big test. I have to sit with him. I'll sit with you tomorrow because today I have to do this. I need to know where it's going to. Can't just sit with one kid for 2 hours and then neglect the other one that actually needs me today because tomorrow there's a big test. I need to know how to focus my energy. This is called Gvura Sheba Malchut. Malchut is the desire to give, as to be the leader, to run the show. And the Gvura is how much I'm giving every person. I can guarantee to you that many people, not too long ago somebody emailed us, and I always say it out loud because people sometimes get very offended. They email me and I don't answer them. First of all, I don't check emails. I get, on an average day, between 1,500 to 3,000 emails. That's the amount of emails we get every day from all around the world, funneling from social media, from emails, from WhatsApps, whatever. That's the amount of messages that are coming every day. I don't even check emails. I don't check WhatsApp messages. So we have a crew, a few girls, and they check all the emails and they filter them. This email doesn't need to go to me. They answer this and send it all around. Now, of course, a lot of people have questions. I don't even answer all these questions. I don't have time to answer all these questions. I have hundreds of emails coming every day, just questions. So other people can answer the questions, not me. I don't need to answer every little question. But nevertheless, many people also say, I'm coming to Tzfat, I want to meet the rabbi. Okay, you have 10 minutes. 10 minutes? What am I going to do with 10 minutes? Well, there's another 500 people. So the other day, somebody emailed them, I'm coming to Tzfat on this day, can I see the rabbi? Yes. I need 3 hours. 3 hours? If you get 10 minutes, you're lucky. What do you mean 10 minutes? What am I going to say in 10 minutes? Well, what do you think? You're the only one in the world? There are many others. And the time is very limited. If I would give now, imagine I would sit now with a person 3 hours. Not too long ago, when I was on one of my tours, somebody emailed us and said, I will give the rabbi $10,000. I want to hang out with him. Wow. I mean, hang out with him. What are you going to do? I mean, hang out with him. I'm going to give the rabbi $10,000. I want to hang out with him for the whole day. No, you can't. Because when I come to a tour, everybody wants to have a 5-minute meeting, a 10-minute meeting, 20-minute meeting. I mean, hang out with him. You have $2 million. What does it matter? It's not about the money. So, if not only me, any person gives, he also wants the time of my time. If you give too much here without any limits, then here suffers. And the right way is to, where can I give my time? How can I spread my day? And I'm giving you examples for my own life because I can only give examples for my own life. You take it to your own life. And you decide, how do I focus my chesed? Because the nature of the king of Malchut is chesed, is to give. To give, a real king is a giver. I'm not talking about the kings, I'm talking about a real king. David HaMelech, Yosef HaMelech. These are the real kings that I need to have some type of an image. Moshe was a king. David HaMelech was a king, a real king. David HaMelech was all about giving. Moshe was all about giving. Think Moshe took a vacation? Think Moshe had some time to rest? All day long he was giving. He was giving his time, giving his knowledge, giving his effort, and so forth. A real king is all about giving. So Malchut is the desire and the ability to give. The Gvura Shebe Malchut is how am I focusing my chesed. So yesterday I told you, you must do chesed. There's no way out of it. There's no such a thing that you can't live your life and one day out of your life and not do something to another person. I said in the last class about Chesed of Malchut that if I found myself, comes the end of the day, and I cannot point on something good that I did to another person, then don't go to sleep. How can you pass a whole day and not do some type of act of kindness? In my library, it's minimum 5 a day. You don't do 5 acts of kindness a day, don't go to sleep. What do you think Hashem is expecting you right now? To run after Parnassah? Hashem says, I'll worry about your Parnassah, don't worry about it. Hashem says, you just now do acts of kindness and learn Torah. I quoted last class that it says in the Talmud, in Tractate Sanhedrin, that we're about to go into a massive war. And you have to be a total ignorant not to see that we're going into the war. I don't know if you even read the headlines here in Israel. The Israelis attacked Iran bases in Syria tonight. Just tonight. I don't know if you heard the jets. I was up till late. I heard the jets. And you wake up in the morning, you heard them too? Yeah. So, and in the morning, you wake up in the morning, you open the news, and Israel attacked Iranian bases in Damascus, because yesterday Syria shot 2 missiles into Israel. They fell in the Hermon. You have to be completely ignorant not to see that we're going into a war. I'm not worried about anything. David HaMelech says, 1,000 will fall here, 10,000 will fall here, nothing will go to you. So, but nevertheless, the Talmud gives us instructions. What person wants to survive this war called Gog uMagog, ya'asok b'Torah, should learn Torah, uvegmilut chasadim, an act of kindness. That's it. That's your ticket. Learn Torah, 2 to 5 hours every day. And I know a lot of people raise 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours. You're 2 hours on Facebook. So be 5 minutes on Facebook and 2 hours learn Torah. So stop watching cats breakdancing and all this junk that they have there. So learn Torah 2 to 5 hours, and you'll find the time. So watch a little bit less TV. Or I don't want to say it because people get offended. Stop talking Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara takes at least 2 hours a day. So zip your mouth, and you have a lot of time to learn Torah. Because all day long, did you hear what they said? They said like this. What are you talking about? Do you know I heard about this one? So if you cut the Lashon Hara, I guarantee to you have at least another hour a day. So learn Torah. 2 to 5 hours, 5 minutes a day is nothing. And ya'asok b'gemilut chasadim. Do gemilut chasadim, acts of kindness. It doesn't mean that you have to open a soup kitchen, but you can find a lot of people to help them. Genuinely help them. Not because I want to thank you, not because I want money, not because I want gratification, gratitude, or recognition. You do a real act of kindness. So again, Gvura shebemalchut is taking all this desire and the will for me to help another person, but to focus it. Sometimes 5 minutes here is enough. I don't need more than that. I told you already, when I always go into to tours. Soon I'm going to another 2 tours. And we always book a lot of meetings before. And a lot of people say, I want 3 hours. No, I'll do 3 hours. You get half an hour. That's the max. 10 minutes to half an hour. But I need an hour. And I always say, you don't need. This is just schmoozing. The question should be 2 minutes. The answer is 7 minutes. That's it. 10 minutes and we're done. Don't need to make a whole cup of coffee here. And how are you? How are you? I'm doing great. How are you? So you need to know how to focus the energy. The Gvura shebemalchut is to focus the chesed. Is to take all this chesed, but to focus it here 5 minutes, here 10 minutes, here an hour, here 2 hours, whatever it needs. Now I need to, so to say, livchon, to test what is the need of that person. Sometimes the person doesn't need much. They want. That's a whole different thing. I have 6 kids, Baruch Hashem. You know what it means just to spread my time on 6 kids? Besides everything else around me. My kids also deserve my attention. Just to give 5 minutes to each one, that's already half an hour. Half an hour, I know for some people it's like, what's half an hour? For me, half an hour? You know what half an hour is? That's the amount of time I sleep. So they can get 5 minutes. This one needs 20 minutes. This one needs 20 minutes. This one has a test. They need to sit with me half an hour. All my boys, I learn with them. So I'm just talking about my kids right now, no people around me. But I need to know, today this kid needs much more time. He had a hard day in school. Somebody bullied him. I need to hang out with him. This boy is doing good. Okay, you need 2 minutes. Whatever it is. I know it sounds very technical. I'm just giving some examples, because to talk in theory is one thing, but to see how it actually works, that's a whole different thing. So I need to constantly, I don't know the right word in English. In Hebrew you say livchon. Livchon means to test, to analyze. how much time every person needs. Right now, my wife needs a lot of attention, for whatever reason. This person right now needs a lot of attention. So, what we need to focus on is how to focus my time, especially the chesed that I give. I have to give a lot of chesed. If you're looking at yourself and you can't summarize every day that you did a lot of acts of kindness, you're missing a big part in your avodat Hashem. Now we're focusing on tikkun hamidot, not on gog umagog, but nevertheless, I need to find a lot of time a day that I do acts of kindness, because that is my ticket out. Only acts of kindness. I mean, learn Torah, like we started the class when I told you that a lot of people are failing because they don't know the halachot. You have to learn Torah. Even if you do it in small increments, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, 15 minutes in the evening, 15 minutes at night, boom, you have an hour. But nevertheless, I also have to focus my chesed. Bear in mind that in a week exactly is Shavuot. Exactly a week from now is the holiday of Shavuot. Now what are we celebrating? That we got the Torah. How was the Torah given? Torah was given from the mouth, so to say, of the Gvura, mipi Gvura. We got the Torah by Gvura, not by Chesed. Now, even though the Torah is full of Chesed, the Torah is full of kindness, but nevertheless, the Torah can only give kindness when it's focusing on Gvura. And if you look at the Torah, there's a lot of kindness in the Torah, a lot of Chesed, but it cannot be given and it cannot be focused. All the Torah is about focusing, can only come from Gvura. So I need to know how to focus in my life, my energy. Today we're talking about kindness, on chesed, but anything. And this is Gvura shebemalchut. Practically saying, so we have some homework, is you have to ask yourself constantly if you're able to focus your good desires. How many times you wanted to do something and you didn't do it? Something good. Not talking now opening the next startup, the next new Facebook. Talking about that, how many times you want to do something good, you have a good desire. We all have good desires, good wills. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. But then nothing happens. And I'm not talking now opening a big soup kitchen, and I'm talking about little things that you say that you want to do and you don't really do. And even if it's just for yourself, how many times I see people in a class sitting, I just said, learn halachot, I see the wheels turning, that's a good idea. I'm going to start learning, and you're pumping it up in your mind, and you're all pumped up now. I'm going to start learning, I'm going to buy a book, I'm going to start learning 10 minutes a day, halachot. That's a brilliant idea, and it's cooking in your mind for 2-3 days, and somehow evaporates from the front of your brain, and you totally forget about it till you come to the next class. I wanted to learn some halachot. So you have to ask yourself how many times, or not only how many times, am I able to focus my good desires to actually do them? How many times you wanted to do something and you actually didn't do that? There's a lot of good will, there's a lot of good desire in my mind. I want to do a lot of good things. Now the question is if it's actually done. And don't think big. Thinking big then takes much more energy. Think small. And the question you want to ask yourself, am I able to get it done? So if you want to do practically something, we talked about learning halachot, take on yourself, say, that's a good idea. I'm going to learn 5 halachot every day. 5, I don't need to now open the whole Shulchan Aruch. 5 halachot. Go to the Judaica store across the street, buy a book of halachot, learn 5 halachot a day, and keep to it. Now you have a good desire. Now see if you can focus and actually do that. And this is the Gvura shebemalchut. It's about focusing on the good things that I need to do, but actually doing them. And needless to say that I'm the one who benefits from that. The point to take from that is not to disregard the little details. A lot of people, they're looking at the big picture, they're not focusing on the little details. If you don't focus on the little details, you'll never focus on anything in the picture. You need to have the ability to focus on little things. That's how you're able to go to bigger things. And the focusing, that's the key to any success. Whether it's relationship, business, spiritual growth, whatever it is, if you know how to focus and to see the little details, that will be your key to the success. Not to look too broad, because in Hebrew there's a term, our sages say, tafasta merube lo tafasta. You try to grab too much, you're not going to grab nothing. Like a person going to the market and he starts putting oranges. You can take like this, 10 oranges, put another 2, bloop, they all fall down. This is tafasta merube lo tafasta. Try to grab too much at the same time, you're not going to grab anything. So the idea here is, how do I focus on the little details and get it done? Once I'm done with the little details, you'll see that by default, I'm growing and growing and growing. That's why we spoke about many times that many good, successful businessmen, entrepreneurs, generals, whatever it is, why? They know how to focus the time. Time is very, very focused. I spoke about that 2 weeks ago when we learned about the time. My time is so calculated and on the minute. You know, I don't sit and have a cup of coffee and, hey, let's meet for coffee. I don't sit on a cup of coffee. Cup of coffee is as I'm doing something. I don't waste my time. Not because I'm a big shot, because my time is valuable. And I want to make sure that my time is focused. Here, 5 minutes. It doesn't need more than 5 minutes. Move on. Next. You know, I know it sounds very mechanical and like a machine, but my day is extremely productive. And not because I don't sleep, because everything has its time. Everything has the amount of time that needs to be done. This is 5 minutes at 4. This is an hour at 6. And more than that, it's focusing on the little details. It's know how to see, not the big picture. It's to stand in front of 500 details and look at one detail and says, that's the detail right now that needs my attention. Next I'll do this, next I'll do that, next I'll do this. This is the power of Gvura Sheba Malchut. We all have it in us. Now you need to know how to bring it up to the surface. The simple way to doing it is you take little tasks, you focus on these little tasks and you do them. And the tasks, I'm not going to your shopping today. That's not what I'm talking about. Is tasks of acts of kindness. Where can I help here? Where can I help here? Once a week I volunteer here. Once a day I do this. Once a day I do that. It has to be focused. And if you're not focusing on Gemilut Chasadim, on acts of kindness, you're missing the biggest part of your spiritual growth, of getting closer to Hashem and making the world a much better place. It's all about doing chesed. And the chesed, like I told you, has to be done with no agenda, with no a motive behind it. It has to be done for the sake of giving. This is the short version of Gvura Sheba Malchut.